Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Premier League review show on Football Talk podcast. My name is Ozzie, and I'm your host with the most. What a match week it was. If you're a Liverpool fan like myself, as we extended our league at the top of the table, defeating Man City very comfortably in a 2-0 result. In other games, Arsenal maintained their hunt at the top of the table as they smashed West Ham 5-2. Chelsea are gaining momentum and produced a fantastic win over the Willians, and Ruben Amorim secures his first win for his new club at Old Trafford. So let's begin with the match week. What should I say? Match of the week, and that was Liverpool versus Man City. One absolute domination from Liverpool. Honestly, this was not a contest between two heavyweights. This was boys against men. Liverpool outfought, outclassed, outjumped, outrightly destroyed Pep's Man City. Liverpool produced a number of chances in the game and, quite frankly, allowed Man City to walk without any broken bones, as we should have smashed them 4 or 5-0. But they still left Anfield battered and bruised, and we certainly broke their pride and spirit. Just look at Pep's response to the Anfield crowd by presenting the six fingers, as you can see on the screen. Well, that was very kind of him to remind us that we are 6 times European champions. He also reminded us that Man City have lost their last 6 games in all competitions. And to top it off, he reminded us that if you add 6 to Man City's position in the league, which is 5, that adds up to the points difference between Liverpool and Man City. So what a kind gesture from Pep. But okay, jokes aside, he's absolutely shameless for doing that. But you know what? I love it. I love it when managers who have these type of egos like Pep are rattled by chants from the crowd. His team are quite frankly in the mud right now, and some are even questioning their top 4 credentials. Now, I'll be honest, they'll definitely finish in the top 4, but for it to even be a conversation at this stage of the season to hear people saying that Man City aren't even going to be in the top 4, it's quite crazy to be honest with you. And look, it brings a bit of reality to some fans that Man City fans were moving like they were untouchable at times. Well, thankfully, there's another manager that has been added to Arne Slot's penitentiary, and Mikel Arteta, aka Mikel Pulis, will be joining there very soon. But overall, a great performance from Liverpool, who have defeated the champions of Europe and the champions of England in a matter of days, and also kept a clean sheet in both ties. Arne Slot is doing wonders at the club right now, and it's such a great time for us Liverpool fans. Now, it depends who you talk to or which sort of content creators you see online. I'll say it with chest, and that is that Liverpool will win the league this season without a shadow of a doubt. Clip this, use this as a receipt. For me, I think it'll be more of a timestamp of when I was proven right, but we'll see in the coming months. Another talking point after the game, unfortunately, was regarding Mohamed Salah and his contract situation. It didn't help when he said in the post-match interview that this could be his last City versus Liverpool match at Anfield. I just really hope FSG sort this out as soon as possible. Look how influential he was in this game. He provided the assist to Gakpo to open the scoreline and scored the penalty to nail the coffin at the end. For me, he is invaluable to the success of this football club. So please, FSG, sign him up as soon as possible. Now, on to the next fixture. Here we go. West Ham versus Arsenal. It was a 7-goal thriller at the London Stadium, but West Ham were at the losing end as Arsenal destroyed them with a 5-2 scoreline. So let's discuss the key moments of the game. Gabriel opens the scoreline with a close range header from a corner kick. Great delivery from Saka. And speaking of Saka, he provides the assist for the second goal as he squares it to Trossard to pretty much tap it in from a couple of yards out. Paqueta concedes a silly penalty after fouling Saka in the box. Odegaard steps up and hits it cleanly in the bottom corner to make it 3-0. Havertz then makes it 4-0 with a neat clinical finish 1-on-1 with the keeper. Wan-Bissaka makes history as he scores 2-2 in consecutive weeks. Emerson then scores a sublime free kick, crossbar and in to give the Hammers a glimmer of hope, with the scoreline being 4-2 at the time. But then West Ham concede another penalty, as apparently Fabianski punched Gabriel as he was making a clearance from a corner kick. I say apparently because I don't actually think there was any contact made with the defender. I think the player was making a Tesco meal deal out of it. So Saka ends up stepping up for the penalty this time and just about beats Fabianski to make it 5-2 and secure an emphatic win to climb up to second place. They are now 9 points behind Liverpool, the league leaders. On to the next fixture. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. It was another cold performance from the Blues as they beat the Villains 3-0. Nicholas Jackson scores the opening goal to open the score sheet, with a neat left-footed finish, posting in to give Chelsea the lead. Enzo Fernandez then makes it 2-0 with a nice finish, using the outside of his right foot to add another goal to his tally. Cole Palmer then wraps it up in style with a spectacular shot right in the top bin to make it 3-0 and secure all 3 points. What a turnaround from Chelsea, who continue to climb up the table and now move into third position on joint points with Arsenal, who are second right now. Unbelievable from Chelsea. Next fixture, Manchester United versus Everton. Ruben Amorim secures his first win as Manchester United manager. And of course, they demolished Everton 4-0 at Old Trafford. The unpopular player amongst United fans, Marcus Rashford, opens the scoreline with the first goal. Huge deflection from Brentford. But hey, they all count, don't they? Zertsky then makes it 2-0 with his left-footed strike and also a gunman celebration. So let's see how many goals he scored at the end of the season. Mr. AK-47 there. Rashford then makes it 3-1 as he hits his shot through the keeper's legs. Great assist from Amad Diallo, who also becomes the provider yet again for the fourth goal as he lays it off for Zertsky to complete his brace. A solid win for Manchester United, who now move up to 9th in the league, but they're only 4 points away from 4th position, which is a crazy stat. Could this be a resurgence? Well, they'll need to get past Arsenal, as that's their next opponent this Wednesday. Next fixture, Tottenham versus Fulham. Spurs failed to capitalize from their huge win against Man City last week as they dropped points yet again at home against Fulham. All the action took place in the second half as Brennan Johnson scores another goal for Spurs as he smashes the ball from close range to take the lead. Great assist from Timo Werner on the left side. Kearney equalizes for Fulham with a spectacular left-footed strike posted in. Unstoppable finish. But then Kearney sees red, literally, as he clamps Kulusevski from behind and gets the marching orders to leave the pitch. And unfortunately, Spurs didn't take advantage of the Fulham team, who were down to 10 men and had to settle for a point. But that also means they've dropped to 7th in the league. Now, in other games, Brighton versus Southampton, all square at the Amex Stadium. Mitoma opens the score sheet with a header. Great cross from Tariq Lamptey on the right-hand side. Southampton get the important equaliser as Flynn Downs smashes the ball into the back of the net from the edge of the box. Cameron Archer hits the back of the net for Southampton, but unfortunately it was ruled out by VAR as they said that Armstrong was in an offside position as the ball was whipped in from the left-hand side. And the second part of the explanation was that they believe he made an attempt to flick the ball towards Archer, and that means that he was involved in the goal. In my opinion, that is complete nonsense. That goal should have stood, and quite frankly, Southampton were robbed of all 3 points, in my opinion. Next fixture, Wolves versus Bournemouth. I had a feeling this game would have lots of goals, as I predicted a 2-2 result, but I didn't realize we were going to be in for a 6-goal thriller. Bournemouth were awarded a very early penalty in the 3rd minute as Totti Gomez fouls Ivan Nielsen in the box Justin Kluivert steps up and calmly slots in the back of the net. Then moments later, Wolves equalise with a great header from Strand Larsen to make it 1-1. Then Kirkes helps reclaim the lead for Bournemouth with a thunderbolt of a shot rattling the back of the net. Liverpool fans, this player is a potential target for us. Let me know what you guys think. In my opinion, I think he would be a great fit for the club. But back to the game, Bournemouth were awarded with another penalty as Jose Sarr fouls Evanilson from behind. Justin Kluivert steps up again and smashes it low into the left corner to make it 3-1. Then in the second half, Strand Larsen makes it 3-2 as he smashes the ball, giving Pepper no chance to get anywhere near the ball. What a signing Strand Larsen has been for Wolves, by the way. That's his 6th goal of the season in the Premier League. Another penalty conceded by Jose Sarr, who clashes into Evanilson. Clumsy challenge from the keeper. Just had a bit of a woeful afternoon. Justin Kluivert steps up for the 3rd time and makes Premier League history, scoring the first penalty hat-trick and securing a great away win for the Cherries. Now, next fixture. Brentford versus Leicester City. Newly appointed manager Ruud van Nistelrooy has some work to do with his new team as the Foxes got stung by the Bees 4-1 in the weekend. Leicester City opened the scoreline with a close range finish from Buonanotte. Great persistence from Jamie Vardy, who fought hard to provide the assist. But Brentford respond and Wissa gets the equaliser with a simple tap-in. Sade scores his first Premier League goal since April with a near-post attempt. Sade then makes it 3-1 as he scores a lovely dink finish, post and in. He then claims his hat-trick with a clinical finish up top. So overall, a great win for Brentford in the end. Next fixture, Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. The Eagles managed to secure a point very late on in the game. Newcastle opened the scoreline in the 53rd minute as their summer target, Mark Gahey, scores an own goal. The irony of him, hitting the back of the net. But fair play to him. I actually think he was quite unlucky with that own goal. But then in the 94th minute, wing back Muniz comes to the rescue after scoring a leaping header towards the near post to help Palace walk away with the crucial point. And the final fixture of Matchweek 13, and that was Forest versus Ipswich Town. Forest managed to notch up another win and climb up the table. The winner came from a penalty as Jota Silva was fouled in the box. Chris Wood steps up and absolutely levers it into the back of the net to secure the important 3 points and also score his 9th goal of the season. He's been in sensational form for Forest this season. That win helps Nottingham Forest move up to 6th in the league. So that is my Matchweek 13 review. As always, we always like to crown our FPL Manager of the Week. And that award goes to my cousin, Musa Safraz. His team is Thomas the Frankenjin. And he managed to get 103 points, which is an outrageous points tally. So big up to yourself, Musa. You've now moved up to 113th in the league. Now, in terms of my performance, just when I thought I was moving up, FPL humbled me and dropped me to 72nd in the league, as I only managed to attain 52 points. Musa more or less got double my points tally this week, but hey, the pursuit doesn't stop as we have another match week taking place from tomorrow. So make sure to update your teams before the deadline, which is at 6 p.m. UK time tomorrow. So let's present the top 10 and see if there's any changes in the ranking. So let me share screen with you guys. So at the top of the table, let's make the screen a bit bigger. Melissa Morris remains at top spot. She managed to get 76 points, so a nice points tally there for her. Vipin Mahan moves up to 2nd place. Maya Tonison moves up to 3rd. Tayo Aziz moves up to 4th. Godwin Kusi has dropped to 5th. Jake Harrison has dropped to 6th. Chris Barnett has moved up to 7th place. Jordan Smith has also moved up to 8th. Handy Abda remains in 9th place, and Daniel Afale Dwamina, that is also double D, big up yourself, has moved up to 10th in the league. So big up to all the FPL managers there. Like I mentioned earlier on, make sure you update your teams for tomorrow, as you know it could be important. Normally, these midweek fixtures, I see a lot of triple captain, and you're able to gain more points. So let's see how things pan out for us this week. But that is the FPL Manager of the Week. Before we go into the comments, I will quickly present the upcoming fixtures, which obviously are taking place from tomorrow, and give you my score predictions. So let's start with this game. Ipswich Town versus Crystal Palace. All the games for UK viewers are on Prime, which is good. It's in one central place. This is an interesting one. Both teams haven't been in best of form in recent weeks. Palace are gaining points, but they're not securing wins. Ipswich Town have been up and down. So I'm going to go for an away win. I think Palace might just nick this one. I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory for Palace. Leicester City versus West Ham. Are Leicester going to claim the win and get that sort of new manager bounce with Ruud van Nistelrooy stepping in his first game for the Foxes? I think so. I think they might claim the win here. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory for the Foxes. And then into the Wednesday fixtures, Everton versus Wolves. I have no faith in Everton. I feel like they've been quite shocking recent weeks. Even though it's at Goodison Park, I think Wolves might just nick this one. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for Wolves. Man City versus Nottingham Forest. On paper, you're thinking Forest should get demolished. It's at the Etihad Stadium. But let's face facts. City have not won in recent weeks. They've lost their last 6 games, 4 in a row in the Premier League. Will it be another defeat? I don't think it'll be a defeat, but I think they will drop points in this one. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Newcastle versus Liverpool. So I'll be doing a watch along for this fixture. So make sure to tune into Wednesday evening for that. It's not going to be an easy fixture. Newcastle are very strong at home, and Eddie Howe certainly presents a stubborn team whenever he faces Liverpool. So I'm going to go for a Liverpool win, but I think we'll win with sort of narrow margins. I think it'll be a 2-1 victory for the Reds. Southampton versus Chelsea. As I mentioned earlier on, I think Southampton were robbed of all 3 points in their last fixture. Not the best of records this at home this season either. Chelsea are on a high right now. Unfortunately, I can't see anything but a blue win. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory for Chelsea. Unfortunately, I won't be watching this game live, but this is a big game. Arsenal versus Manchester United. It's a tough one to call. I'm not going to put my Liverpool hat on for this one. I actually think this will be a draw. I think with United just winning against Everton, I think the morale's high and they'll be trying to claim as many points as possible in the next few weeks to try and gather up some pace and climb up that league table. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think this game will have some goals. Let's hope it's not a ball fest. Aston Villa versus Brentford. Villa haven't been in great form in recent weeks, but I think they'll just nick this one. I'm going to award this as a 1-0 victory for Aston Villa. And the last 2 remaining fixtures on Thursday, which will be Fulham versus Brighton. I think Brighton may lose this one. I think Fulham might surprise us. I think I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for Fulham. Bournemouth versus Spurs. The big question is which Spurs team is going to turn up. I don't know. It's very hard to predict, to be fair. I'm going to present this as a draw. I think he'll finish as 1-1. So drop a comment and let me know your score predictions. I'll try and make a note of these and align it on the next show, which will take place this week, in fact. So we'll have another show possibly on Thursday or Friday night. I will confirm in due course. See, lots of games coming this week. So let's go through the comments. Let's go from the top. So big up Eddie's Football Waffle. He said, big up Ozzie. Really can't believe how good this manager is doing without even one signing. What an adoption so far. Well, we made one signing, but yeah, I get your point in terms of Chiesa not really making any appearances. But yeah, he's definitely showing that he's a pure coach, and that's what we needed. So yeah, on the up right now. So yeah, good times for Liverpool fans. And he also mentioned that he's like hitting the like button. So big up yourself, Eddie's Football Waffle. Appreciate your comment. Appreciate you liking the video. And guys, please make sure you subscribe to Eddie's Football Waffle. You're definitely a friend to the channel. So yeah, big up to Eddie as always. And the next comment here is from Abdul Rahim. He says, hi, Ozzie in chat. Assalamu alaikum. How are you all doing? Wa alaikum assalam to you, Abdul. I'm doing very well. I'm sure the chat is doing great as well. So yeah, big up yourself. Thank you for tuning in as always. He says, top of the league by 11 points. We need to win trophies this season. End racism. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You'll never walk alone. And many thanks. Big up Abdul with the positive comments as always. His second comment here is FA Cup third round versus Accrington Stanley. I saw a video. I'm not sure who the player was, but he was thrilled to for us to be drawn with his team. I think he's a Liverpool fan as well. So yeah, nice moment there for the player. We've got Southampton in the EFL Cup. Then we've got Girona versus Liverpool in the Champions League. Next 5 Premier League games: Newcastle, Everton, Fulham, Tottenham, Leicester. We need to keep on winning. Yeah, we certainly do. I think the only issue that I have with these games or this running that you've just presented is our strength in depth. We're slowly picking up injuries here and there. Konate's out for about 5 to 6 weeks, which is a huge blow. But thankfully, we have Joe Gomez who can come in and step up when required. Conor Bradley's also picked up an injury. I believe he's probably out around that same sort of time frame. I think he's out for a month. So, you know, we're definitely being tested in terms of our squad. Jota still isn't confirmed in terms of his availability. Chiesa has just started training, which is positive news. And Alisson's hasn't been selected for the squad yet. So hopefully we can make some important sort of decisions going forward in terms of team selection and also gather up the wins. So yeah, in terms of the lineup, not to sound cocky, but they are all winnable games on paper. So we should expect all dubs in that lineup there. And Abdul's other comment is to achieve our strategic objectives of winning the EPL, UCL, EFL Cup, and FA Cup this season. It is imperative that we reinforce our squad and with targeted acquisitions in the January 2025 transfer window. Yeah, that's what the big teams do. They capitalize in these sort of moments and add quality to the squad in order to maintain their winning form and result into, you know, winning accolades at the end. Will that happen at Liverpool? I would love to say yes, but you know who our owners are. FSG don't really have an ounce of ambition when it comes to these sort of movements. They've never strengthened the squad when we've been in these sort of positions where, you know, we can wrap up the league or we can go on and be victorious in other competitions. It's always strategic on their part in terms of recruitment, and it's only when certain targets are pursued by other clubs that we make signings in January. So the ones in most recent years were Gakpo and Luis Diaz. Otherwise, we don't really sign players in January. So hopefully, you know, I'm proven wrong. I would love to be proven wrong. You know, I would hold my hand and say well done to FSG in terms of, you know, living up to showing a bit of ambition for the club. But until then, my stance remains with regards to how FSG conduct business. Abdul's other comment is Liverpool 2, Man City, Neil Pep and Man City were rattled in yesterday's game. We now need to believe we can win trophies. You never walk alone. Well, Abdul, I've gone on and said we're going to win the league. So let's see how my prediction goes. But I have a lot of confidence in how we've performed so far this season. I'm just getting 2019/2025 in the way we're playing right now. in some games we haven't performed well, but we're still getting the wins, and that's what's important. That is a true sign of champions there. So, call me shameless or cocky, whatever phrase you want to describe my mood right now. But we're on the up right now, so I can't say anything more than that. Steve, big up Steve. As always, he said, let's go, champ. Let's go indeed. Jay Kismet says, bless, bro. You never walk on. Big up yourself, Jay Kismet. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for tuning in. Steve says, if we took our chances, game over in first 15 minutes. You are not wrong, Steve. In particular, Van Dijk had about 3 headers where he should have buried them, in my opinion. We could easily have extended the lead 4-5, 6-0. We let them walk out of Anfield with a very low scoreline. I don't feel like 2-0 justifies how dominant we were in that fixture. But they live on to fight another day. For Liverpool, we continue to rise and extend our lead at the top. Abdul's other comment is, please join me in extending our sincere congratulations to Arne Slot and the current Liverpool FC players on their remarkable achievements. We are now poised to secure significant victories and trophies. Of course, I always give credit to our team every week. Recently, I've been playing Arne Slot's chant when I close the show. So that's my dedication to our coach and the players. They've been producing wonders for us. So long may it continue. We haven't wrapped up anything as of yet, but the signs are there. So yeah, always positive to see our team doing well. And hopefully, at the end, we'll be holding more than one trophy. That is the aim. That is the dream. Maybe in the quad. I know I said it out loud now, so yeah, I can't take that back. Steve says our fan base rattled Pep. They certainly did. They were saying you'll get sacked in the morning. I think there was another chant as well. Yeah, he was rattled. He had a very Jose Mourinho-esque response. Putting up the 6 fingers. Yeah, you can tell he was rattled. And I love it. I have no issues with that sort of banter or however you want to phrase it. But yeah, it was good to see. Good to see Pep. We were getting under his skin there. Steve says Pep going to solve his problems in Jan. Why? How? Transfer windows open. Pep will go after quality players like, i.e., Lukeba, Zubimendi, Edison. I'm not too sure if they'll go into the market. I could be proven wrong, but it'd be very silly of them to invest so heavily in the squad with the 115 charges looming. Obviously, as fans, we don't really have too many high hopes with regards to the court decision whenever that occurs. So I don't think they'll spend big, but you never know. They definitely need to sign a midfielder. Yeah, definitely up to. I would say definitely midfielder. You mentioned Lukeba. I think that will be an unlikely signing due to the fact that he's just signed a contract extension with Red Bull Leipzig for I think another few years on top of what he currently had. So Ellison, Zubimendi, these are targets that Liverpool, have been scouting and profiling the last 6 or so months. Whether we pursue any players remains to be seen. It'd be a slap in the face if Zubimendi joined Man City. But, we're in December now, a few weeks away from the window. The rumours will be piling up. So I'll be doing more transfer talk shows in the coming weeks. For Liverpool's sake, hopefully we do sign some for Man City. Yeah, I don't know. They do need reinforcements. Don't get me wrong. Will they do it? It just remains to be seen. But if the form really dips in the coming weeks and they've lost momentum, then yeah, it might be a knee-jerk reaction from the owners to sign a couple of players and just move up, because it'll be an embarrassment if they're out of the top 4. I don't think they will be, but that is the talk of the town right now. So let's see how that goes. Steve says, Ozzie, don't say we win the title. We real fans don't say stupid things like that. And majority of the LFC clown fans are saying this also. I know what you mean. I'm normally very patient and very calm and measured in terms of how I say things out loud. I'm just getting a good feeling from this team. So as a content creator, I'm going to put myself out there and back my team. I don't think we're going to walk away with, to that extent, but I do believe this team will win the league. In terms of other trophies, when it comes to knockout competitions, it's very difficult to predict. I think luck is definitely something that plays a part in run-ins. So we'll see how it goes in terms of other competitions. But in terms of the league, I just feel like this is our year. But, let's see how it goes. I might have pie on my face at the end, but I'm putting myself out there. So let's see how it goes on. Double D says, come on. Big up yourself, Double D. He says, I'm coming for first place. Big up yourself, Double D. Yeah, I see you in the top 10 now. So, yeah, you're not far off at all. Steve said, FSG out now. We need to protest to get them out. They don't care about LFC trophies. Trent, Van Dijk, Salah. Look, I'll be honest with you, Steve. If we do not extend the contracts of Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent, if there is no time to do a protest, this is it, because this would put our club in a horrific position going forward. And I know fans will say, players are not bigger than the club, but these are three of the world's best players in their respective positions. Salah's the best player, full stop, in the world right now. But in terms of right wingers, no one's touching him. Not even Saka. I know Arsenal fans always like to chime in Saka when it comes to this debate. He's nowhere near him. Van Dijk, easily the best defender in world football right now, and Trent is generational talent, best right back as well. So FSG really need to fix up shop. I feel like they're just being very complacent with how they're moving right now. I also feel like they're a bit naive, just assuming that these three will sign extensions because of their love for the club and for the fans. In certain parts, yes, you can not show urgency with regards to contract talks, but at the same time, Salah's gone out and said that there's been no talks. And I've not really heard much with regards to Trent and Van Dijk. So if there aren't any discussions happening right now in December, we have to be concerned as Liverpool fans. With January, in a matter of 2-3 weeks, they are allowed to speak to other foreign clubs and agree a pre-contract agreement. Now, if I hear any news that is happening in January, I'm going to lose it. I'm not going to lie, because that would be stupidity at its finest from our owners if they allow that to happen. But let's not think about that too much. We'll take it one day at a time. Hopefully, we hear some positive contract talks in the coming weeks. If we get announcements this month, it will help me understand that there have been discussions in the background. But I'm not getting good vibes from Mohamed Salah, unfortunately. And I don't think he's just doing this to rattle the fans or anything to that nature. I just feel like he's just indirectly telling the owners, look, sort out a new contract. I feel like he'll be happy with a 1 year or 2 year extension. I don't think it's about the longevity of his extension. I truly believe that he just wants to feel appreciated. And maybe he's not getting that from the owners right now, or the people, i.e. Michael Richards and Richard Hughes, who are appointed as the men to sort out these contract extensions and forecast the direction of the club going forward. You can't replace Mohamed Salah in world football right now. There's no one, in my opinion. Van Dijk, Trent, it goes the same with those two other players as well. So look, let's see what happens in the coming weeks. But at this stage, I'm not too confident, but at the same time, I can't say with chest that it's going to happen. I really can't say, because we're just not getting much inkling from the club, and there's always rumors circulating with regards to unofficial sources. One day you're saying that these players have agreed terms, the next day they're like, no, they're being pursued by other clubs. So we'll see. We just have to wait and see, and be patient with these announcements. Steve says we need FSG out, protest in January. Trent, Van Dijk, Salah to stay, protest. We can't allow these vulture capitalists to let our best players to leave, and can't let them destroy another title and Champions League charge. That last point you made there is actually a very important one, because let's be honest, if these players are not given contract extensions in January, they will most likely sign with a club outside the Premier League. I don't think none of these three players will sign with an existing Premier League team. Not that they can do anyway in January. Um, but if they haven't had any further talks and they've agreed a deal with another foreign club, best believe that is going to get announced in January/Feb. What is that going to do to our title hunt? Can you imagine us going into February knowing that Van Dijk or Salah or Trent have agreed deals with another foreign club and that they'll be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season? That's going to have a huge impact in terms of morale and how we are as a collective. Some fans believe that Klopp's announcement last year of him leaving Liverpool had a huge downfall to our performances because just around Feb, March, that's when we end up dropping in form. So, right now, I'm pretty sure I've won the league out loud because this is actually a huge factor going into the second half of the season. But from current form, I believe we're the best team. In England, I think we're the best team in Europe as well. So that's why I'm coming up with that chest. But FSG has the defining factor in terms of what happens to our season this year. If they're able to get contract extensions done and add more players to our squad, we'll see. And we can kind of give our verdict at the end of January. But right now, all we can do is enjoy each game as it comes. And I'm enjoying the performance that we produce. Even the game against Man City, we showed different variations of our play. We were very aggressive in the first half. In the second half, we adapted to their tactics and defended a lot deeper, but at the same time, we're really lethal in that counter attack. So definitely got different ways of playing. We're very adaptable, which is quite nice and refreshing to see. Steve's other comment is FSG have made no statements or give us updates on Trent, Van Dijk, Salah contract. Their silence is definitely get them out. It certainly is. I can't lie. We've not had an inkling to what's going on behind the scenes. I know that's how they like to move. They like to move in silence. But as fans, for transfers, it's fine, I guess. But when it comes to these contract extensions, it's alarming, especially with the month we're approaching right now. Steve's other comment is FSG show ambition this January 2025, i.e. Trent, Salah, Van Dijk sign new deals, Hato, Zubimendi sign, we win title and Champions League, and then FSG in. Look, if that happened, I'm not gonna lie, Steve, that would be sensational. I still can't say FSG in because they need to do that a lot more often, in my opinion. But look, if that happens, I might be on that boat temporarily, but we'll see. We'll see. Only time will tell. Steve says last two games we have clicked. The players have finally turned into Arnold style of play. Last two games we have been in 8th gear. I don't know how many gears we've got in that gearbox because I feel like we've got more gears to hit. We're going to hit new levels, in my opinion. This is just the start. We are adapting to his style of play, but I feel like we've got more doors to unlock. So this is great time to be a Liverpool fan right now. Steve says 115 charges won't be finalized till 2027. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, it'll probably be past that as well. So I'm not too sure in terms of what will happen in terms of the verdict there. But yeah, remains to be seen what happens. And Madison, big up Madison, he said the forwards and midfield have been getting the scrutiny, but their back line can defend at the moment. Can't defend at the moment, sorry. And Madison says Zubimendi joins City. They win the title. That's on FSG. I hope he doesn't. That'd be a very annoying if he joins City, considering our pursuit in the summer. But let's see. Steve says these things stopping us winning the title, i.e. FSG lack of squad investment in January 2005, fatigue, injuries, loss of form. Yeah, unfortunately, we've picked up a few injuries in recent weeks. I wouldn't say it's down to the way we're playing. It's just, unlucky circumstances where players have pulled a muscle or they've landed a bit awkwardly. But thankfully, I do feel like we have the squad, we have the quality in our squad to sort of handle these issues going forward. It's just that we're picking up injuries in crucial areas, i.e. Konate, Bradley is a huge blow to our team. If anyone else was to get injured, that'd be a huge blow. We've got a player like Joe Gomez who can play different positions. but he's currently our centre back. Obviously, you got Kwanzaa that can come in, and then Joe Gomez could switch over to right back. That's why I was so adamant that we didn't sell Joe Gomez in the summer, because he's always going to have an important role in this team. One injury, and then Joe Gomez comes in, and he's very steady. He's very reliable whenever called upon. So for me, I'm very happy that we've kept him on board, and I don't want to hear any January rumors linking him outside of the club, because that is a no-go. It's impossible for us to sell Joe Gomez to any club. Next summer, we can have discussions. I still want him to stay, to be honest with you, but I wouldn't even consider selling him for whatever reason. Steve says, imagine this. City come in and sign Van Dijk, Salah and Jan for 30 million, and they win the title with Zumendi signed also. That's on FSG. Well, that's not going to happen. We wouldn't sell Salah and Van Dijk for 30 million. That is just a ridiculous amount of money. Not realistic, but yeah, that'd do my head in if that happened. But no, that's not realistic, unfortunately. Van Dijk and Salah wouldn't leave mid-season for sure. And obviously, with the money involved, that's not enough to prize them away. I know they're not allowed to sign pre-contract agreements, but Liverpool wouldn't listen to any offers for them whatsoever. So, yeah, let's see what happens in terms of transfer rumors. I don't have high hopes, but we'll soon find out in due course. Akil, big up Akil. He says Van Dijk signed a contract though. Akil, is that official? I need to know who the source is, because with Twitter, you can be misconstrued sometimes. But let me know who the source is. If that is the case, obviously I'm over the moon that Van Dijk is staying. But at the minute, I don't know if that's a reliable information there. Akil says, and Salah would never go to City. I agree. I don't think he'd ever go to City. I don't think he'd join another Premier League club, to be brutally honest. If I'm not trying to put this out there in the universe, but if Salah was to leave, it wouldn't be for another Premier League club. I don't see him going to Madrid. He hates Madrid with a passion, so that wouldn't be a club. Barcelona, would he fit there? Salah could play in a number 10 role if required, because they've got an upcoming star in Lamine Yamal who plays on the right wing. But obviously, if they were to pursue him, you've got to make space for Mohamed Salah. PSG is the one that I feel like could be a potential destination. I know they've been linked to him again today, so that's one that concerns me a little bit. I don't think he's ready to go to Saudi. I just get that notion that he's not ready to pack it in right now. Yeah, I really hope FSG sort this out, because I feel like he really wants to stay at the club. He's breaking so many records, and he will continue to do that if he stays at the club. So let's see. I don't want to be a downer in terms of contract talks, but right now we haven't got any information. So let's see what happens in the coming weeks. Steve's comment is, it don't take long. It don't take FSG from 2022 to sort out Trent, Salah, Van Dijk new contracts. FSG need fans protest to put pressure on their vulture capitalists. Yeah, it's ridiculous how we've left it to this situation that these contracts haven't been presented in prior years rather than it being this year. But at the same time, we have to understand that we've not really had a sporting director in the last 18 months. I know Schmacker came in and did a temporary job, and to be fair, did a decent job as well. But we've not really had someone upstairs to get those deals done. So that's probably why there's been a sort of like a lack of activity when it comes to that contract extension department. But look, Richard Hughes has been in the job for a few months now. He needs to get his act together. That's all I can say with regards to Richard Hughes, because he's not showed nothing to me. I know he signed Chiesa, but that's not enough. Don't get me wrong, I was very pleased that we got Chiesa, because he's a player that I really like. But that's not what we need. And I know people say Mamadashvili, yes, he's a signing for next summer, but do we even need him? Keller has been outstanding this year. So I mentioned it earlier on in I think it was my match reaction or preview or watch along yesterday. I think we should keep Kelleher for another season and loan out Mamadashvili. for another season, because there's no way we can let Kelleher go the way he's playing right now. He's been in unbelievable form. So a lot of big decisions need to be made at FSG, and it needs to be made very quickly, especially when it comes to those contract extensions. Akil says maybe, but um, they are already FSG. They should have offered Salah a new contract already. No, you're 100% right, Akil. That they should have offered it to Trent and Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk is our captain, so show a bit of respect in that regards. Trent is a local boy, and I feel like they're taking that. Don't want to try and swear, but they're taking a mick with regards to that, because I feel like when it's a local boy, they feel like they're always going to sign. So they've not really thought that, do you know what, he's actually a generational talent. He could move on if he wanted to pursue his career elsewhere, and he's good enough to do that. So I don't know. Fingers crossed there is something rumbling in the background, because right now I can see the fans are getting a bit unrest in terms of what the club are doing right now. Transfers, we're hoping to see. Do you know what? I'm not expecting to see 2 or 3 players signed in January. That would be the ultimate dream. I think we just need another midfielder. That will definitely help us. And maybe a centre back, depending on Konate's situation, because he's out for 6 weeks. So he'll be available mid-Jan. If he's not available, then we do need more bodies in the back there. So let's see. She says, imagine Trent, Van Dijk, Salah join City and they win the title. Yeah, I'm not imagining any of that right now. So yeah, leave me out of that one. Akil says, nah, Trent would sign for Madrid. Van Dijk isn't leaving and Mo wouldn't go to Man City. So I've been saying this for a few months now, Akil, and it's not what I want, but I feel like the player most likely to leave is Trent, and that's just due to Madrid pursuing the player very aggressively, and obviously his best mate being Jude Bellingham was also there. I hope that does not happen. But out of the 3 players you mentioned, that seems like the most likely situation. But having said that, we beat Real Madrid last week. I'm not going to say that's going to sway Trent's decision, but it should help paint the picture that, under our slot, we could be doing unbelievable things. So he should be a part of that going forward. He doesn't want to be another Coutinho where he left when the club was on the rise, and then we went on to win so many trophies, and Trent didn't, for example. So obviously he'll probably win trophies at Real Madrid, but for Liverpool it's a bit more special because it's his boyhood club. But let's see. Van Dijk isn't leaving. I hope not, and Mo wouldn't go Man City. I don't think he would, but I just don't want Mo or Van Dijk to go. Full stop. Steve says FSG. Bringing Hatos and Mendy announced Van Dijk, Salah have signed new deals on 1st of Jan. Trent signs new deal on 2nd Jan 2025. Over to you, cheap FSG. It would be ironic. Imagine if we announce the Van Dijk contract extension on Christmas Day, because from what I remember, that was the day that we signed him, where he had a picture holding the T-shirt, the Liverpool shirt, of course, and the Christmas tree in the background. That's what I remember, being Christmas Day or Boxing Day. So that would be, great marketing from Liverpool. But as fans, we're very impatient. We don't know what's going on. So, hopefully I've presented a nice idea for FSG to announce that, if it is wrapped up in a bag that some people believe, hopefully they can do it in that kind of notion. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Management says, as fans, we always want investment in the squad, but do you think that not signing someone in the summer helped Arne Slot sort out the current squad? To an extent, I feel like even if we had signed Zubimendi, it would have definitely just added more quality to our team. I actually feel like Zubimendi and Groundberg would have formed a good partnership anyway. So, in hindsight, not signing Zubimendi has given Groundberg more responsibility, and he's certainly up the levels in terms of his game and profile and the way he's just, hit the ground running. So, he's definitely been unleashed and he's unlocked the potential that I've seen, and I'm sure a lot of Liverpool fans have seen over the years. So yeah, you might have a point there. It could be where, due to lack of signings, the players might have felt, valued and thought, you know what, this is our time to really make a shift. Because had he signed about 3, 4, or 5 players in the summer window, the players might have had a different perception of the manager or the coach, I should say. Because if he's adding 4 or 5 players, the squad will subconsciously feel like they're not good enough to be in this team. So it is a psychological thing. I also think Arne Slot was quite adamant to say that he wants to come in and analyze the squad. And I didn't expect us to have any sort of heavy recruitment in the summer. So, I just wanted another midfielder and a centre back, but that never happened. But look, credit to the boys. They've done fantastically well. Um, so, yeah, in hindsight, may have helped the team and Arne Slot in terms of forming a team that understands his tactics going forward. And we're definitely playing slot ball right now. So, we're on the up, which is always good to see and good to watch on a weekly basis. Steve, with another comment, says some knowledgeable fans this summer said we needed to sign a defender that can play centre back, left back, and now I'm not saying he only has 5 minutes to play 4 positions. Look, we've been mentioning this centre back, left back thing for about, I wouldn't even say since summer. It's probably been a discussion for about 2 years, if I'm being honest with you. So, look, if some fans are content with our current squad, that's all good. But I do believe we need to add more to our ranks. We have players that have good quality, but at the same time, 1 or 2 players have digressed a bit. So we need to look for long-term solutions. But let's see what happens. Steve says Kiers a match fit. Feb first could be our title winner at school and create some important goals, assists. Well, he's back in training now. He's fully fit. So hopefully he gets involved in the coming weeks. I don't expect him to start many games in this month in particular. But as I mentioned in one of our previous shows, I think January will be the month where we see him start a few more games and have a huge impact. You mentioned Feb. So January, Feb is a time I feel like, hopefully, touch wood, he stays fit and is able to have an impact. Because I feel like he can play in multiple positions. He's not just an outright backup for Mohamed Salah. He can play through the middle. He can play on the left. He can play in the number 10 position if required. Although I wouldn't play him at number 10 because I feel like he'll just get worked and probably not, good for his body because he's been picking up injuries in recent years. So for me, he'll be a valued addition with Harvey Elliott back as well. We're strengthening more so up top, but I feel like defense and midfield, we might need to add some more quality there. So let's see how it goes. Steve says Salah, Van Dijk can go to Saudi when they are 400 years old to get the bag. I'm telling you, Salah's not interested about that Saudi move. I don't think he will make that move until he's like in his head understands that he's past it. Like that's when he'll go there because he'll always have that interest from Saudi. He's the most popular figure, forget sports, most popular figure in the Arab world. So they would love to have him at any stage of his career. So there's no rush from Salah's side to go over there anytime soon. I feel like he wants to continue to break records, build on his legacy. And, if he stays at Liverpool, he'll probably be one of the best ever. I feel like he's already there. But some fans will argue, some fans will have an emotional attachment to certain players, i.e. your Steven Gerrards. But I feel like he's there. He's on that table. But let me know what you think. Steve said, did FSG sign players after 2022? If yes, then we can renew player deals. Did we sign any players after 2022? Well, obviously, Chiesa in the summer window. But we haven't done that many signings from what I know. Gakpo was the one in 2022 from what I believe. But we haven't done a lot of business. We've been very selective in terms of how we've run over the years. So no, but this is the thing that we keep saying every year. They don't show ambition when it comes to the transfer market. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure in terms of what the ambition is. Obviously, we've got they've pretty much brought the band back with regards to Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, and Julian Ward. So let's see. Hopefully, they're able to strengthen the squad. I just have to be realistic and say I'm not too sure if that happened, but hopefully I'm wrong. Steve said Richard Hughes is that foul guy for FSG, or I think I mean full guy. He was told FSG to get these players on new deals. FSG not signing them off and making Hughes look bad. I don't know, if I'm being honest with you, Steve. What if it's the other way around? What if, the funds are available, but Richard Hughes is incompetent to get the deals done? And I don't mean to be rude when I say that, but that could also be a possibility. We really don't know. Steve also said fans said Sol Campbell would never join Arsenal. Ashley Cole would never join Chelsea, and rest is history. Yeah, you have a point there, but I hope not. I hope none of our players join our rivals in the Premier League. Steve says FSG can sign players now and they join on versus. Yeah, they certainly can, but they never release these sort of announcements or information to the public until everything's secured. Even the Gakpo signing, that was before January even happened. The Van Dijk one in similar fashion. Diaz was a bit more late on in the January window, from what I remember. But look, if there is anything happening in the background, fantastic. I'm just not sure if that is the case. So we'll find out in due course. Steve says we are super thin on defenders. Few more injuries. Get ready to see Gravenberch play centre back and end up right back. That's on FSG. Yeah, with Bradley out, Konate out, Simicast out. I'm not sure what the extent of his injury is, but obviously he's not available in the sort of short term. So, 3 injuries there out of eight positions. It's not looking good. No, it's not looking good. But let's see. Steve says we have been in this position before many times on Klopp Watch, and we crashed and burned towards the end of the season due to lack of quality depth. That's on FSG. I think we've burnt out towards that time of the season, also because of the way we played under Jurgen Klopp. We were playing very aggressive football, and with a smaller squad, less rotation, so players will burn out naturally. So our squad isn't bigger right now anyway. So our squad is probably slightly smaller in comparison to the previous Klopp squads. So yeah, we haven't helped ourselves in that situation there. Steve said, did you see our players, i.e. Robbo, Salah, Van Dijk, and players, Sturridge, pundits, Richard, King crash it on about his Salah negative comments? Well, good. I did see Robbo's comments for CBS and Van Dijk, Salah in the interview yesterday as well. And look, I love it when players are open like that because, let's not be around the bush. These players do have social media accounts. They will hear comments from the media, even if it's through friends and family, they'll hear it. So Carragher was very vocal about Salah's situation. The interview that he had with NBC Sports, and said that he was disappointed with what he said. I feel like Salah had every right to express his views there. I don't think he said anything out of line. I feel like he said what he said was justified. There hasn't been any talks, and that is not the way you treat or respect a club legend, in my opinion. If it was Steven Gerrard and that was the case, Carragher wouldn't be speaking with that kind of tone. So, be selective in terms of what you say. On to the next comment from Steve. 2 World Cup players missed penalties on Wednesday. Wow, yeah, Mbappe and Salah, crazy. Steve says, we were in the table when we had centre back and midfield crisis, top of the table. Rest is history. Yeah, that season we were still on top. But hopefully we're able to claim another title this season. But I've said it once in terms of my prediction of the league table. I won't bang it in too much during the weeks. But we're on the up, so it's good in terms of how the team are doing, and long may it continue. And Steve's comment is, our squad were laughing at Carragher's comments about him. Our players see Carragher as a clown. They do. I also see another clip circulating. It's an old interview of Gary Neville and Van Dijk during, I think, his overlap series, and saying that, look, he wouldn't even get in the squad, let alone starting lineup. He'd be in the stands out of the match day squad. So Van Dijk keeps it real when it comes to these things. So yeah, big up to Van Dijk for that comment there. And that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Steve for your comments. Appreciate it as always. And big up to who do we have? We've got Malison, Akil, we've got Abdul Rahim, Double D. Big up yourselves as always, guys. Jay Kismet as well. Big up for yourselves. If you haven't already, and if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate every support from you guys, whether you're liking the video, whether you're leaving comments. Oh, sorry, it is Football Waffle as well. Big up yourself for your comment earlier on. So yeah, whether you're liking the video, sending comments, liking the video really helps with the algorithm. It helps my video reach out to new audiences. So yeah, please do that. It only takes a second to do that. And yeah, please hit that subscribe button as well. In terms of upcoming content, got a lot of content coming this week. So we'll start from tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the match preview of Newcastle versus Liverpool. Then on Wednesday, I'll be doing the live watch along of that game, plus a match reaction, which also features a calling session for the viewers. So feel free to join in. And then on Thursday, we'll be doing a match preview of Everton versus Liverpool. And then also on Friday, I'll be doing a show basically summarizing the games in Matchweek 14. So yeah, lots of shows coming this week. Time to be confirmed on the Friday show, probably a bit earlier than normal at 6 p.m. But best thing to do is also follow me on social media at Ozzie.ftp on Instagram and Ozzie_FTP on X/Twitter. So yeah, lots of shows coming this way. And obviously we've got the Everton game live watch along for that. On Thursday is a midday kickoff, our favorite time slot as Liverpool fans. And I'll be also doing a match reaction later that evening. So yeah, big up yourselves as always, guys. Just got a few comments here before we close the show. Steve said, I'm showing chess, but mathematically we have won the title. Be yourself, Steve. I'm not gonna lie, I was like that when we first won the league a few years ago. I'm a bit cocky with it right now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. The bang bang emojis there. And Dad says, Ozzie, when's Newcastle preview? I'll be doing that tomorrow, Dad. Tomorrow around 11 p.m. I would say. But just hit that notification bell. I might do a 10 p.m. show. It'll just depend on my schedule for tomorrow. But I think I'll be doing that 11 p.m. So yeah, make sure to tune in for that one. Steve says you should get Fozzie, JK, Frank on your channel. All have great ball knowledge. They've all been on my channel in some shape or form. So yeah, I'll definitely be getting more Liverpool content creators in the coming weeks. With this festive period, it's quite hard to get everyone on board. So no, be on the lookout for upcoming shows. I'll try and get some Liverpool content creators as well as content creators of other clubs as well. So definitely trying to do more collaborations this season. Steve says, get David the crook cute on your show. I would never let that happen. It won't be PG. So I try not to swear on my shows. It's probably better I don't do that because you'll see a different side of me that I don't want no one to see. So that'll never happen. And Ozzie says, one question. Ozzie, do you think he rests players for Newcastle? Obviously, I'll dive into it in more detail tomorrow, Daz. I think he will rotate, to be honest with you. Probably not from a defensive point of view because we don't have the numbers, but I think across the pitch, we might rotate some. So we'll discuss that a lot more details in tomorrow's preview show. Steve says, get Spurs fans, especially on your show. He's a G. Yeah, he's a G. I think he's probably too high level for me. Maybe one day I'll be up there with like big numbers and hopefully do a collab one day. Yeah, so that's the hope there. So we'll see. Daz with another question says, get Jamie on Ozzie or now from the upper tier. I've actually not heard of now. So yeah, send me a link for now. I'll definitely subscribe to his channel, look out for his content. Jamie, yeah, big up Jamie. He's always a support of the channel. Hopefully I'll get him on one day as well. So yeah, that's the plan. I've got a list of all the content creators I have a lot of respect for in the game. So I'm going to try and get those guys on the show in due course. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Steve says Jones, Dom, Ryan, midfield next game. Salmons, Diaz up top. Jones done. So McAllister, you dropped there. Fair enough. I'm not mad at that one, to be fair. Dominic was like ran his socks off in that Man City game. So hopefully he's fitting well, because yeah, he must have been knackered after that one. But Jones, I definitely see Jones starting in this one. I think he deserves it. Was rested against Man City. So yeah, I think he'll definitely play a part. And Dara Azizi says hi, all big up Dara. Thank you for your comment and thank you for tuning in. And let's go one more comment here. Steve says, get one of the Coppish guys on. They are too funny. They are great. They are hilarious. So yeah, big up to Matt, Drifty, and Callum. Try and definitely get them on the show one day as well. So yeah, you never know. You never know. That is the aim of the game. One day I'll make that happen. So Dara says, my first time here. I felt that was the case. Big up yourself, Dara. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you've liked and subscribed the video. And yes, hopefully you enjoy the content going forward. So yeah, big up yourself, Dara, for coming on. And we also got Steve says, I will start Kwanzaa right back. Rest Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's a good shout, you know. I was quite surprised that Kwanzaa played right. I don't think I've ever seen him play right back, but it's definitely an option. We do need to utilize our squad. And I feel like up against whoever's playing on the left wing, could it be Gordon? Could it be Harvey Barnes? Having a centre back at right back might actually work. So we'll talk about it tomorrow in more detail. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. And then Steve says, get Flying Pig United on. He's too funny. I'm not even familiar with him. So yeah, I'll have a look out for him as well. I do have quite a few United content creators that I've worked with in the past. So like Eddie's Football Waffle is someone that I've worked with on his channel. Sophia's Football Talk, big up to her as well. So yeah, quite a lot of people that I've worked with in regards to the United space. So yeah, big up to all of them. And Steve says, bring Mac on at 65th minute. Yeah, that makes sense depending on, where we are in that game. If we're struggling to extend the lead or we've not even got a goal, because I do feel like it's going to be a tough game against Newcastle. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. They're definitely going to present a challenge for us. St. James Park, such a hostile, big crowd, very noisy fans. It could be a difficult afternoon or evening, I should say, for us. So looking forward to it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's not going to be an easy fixture. They've not been in the best of form either, but I do feel like Eddie Howe teams just seem to turn up whenever it comes to Liverpool. So you never know. Ceases to get Said on United fan. Yeah, big up to Said TVs. I do like his content. So yeah, big up to him. One day, these are high profile content creators in the game. So hopefully, one day I'm amongst those circles as well. So yeah, hopefully with your support, I can make that happen in the future. And then Steve says, Isaac scoring. We win 3-1. Yeah, Isaac, I wouldn't be surprised. He's a player I really like. So he's one I'm looking forward to watching. Hasn't really been that prolific in recent weeks. I've actually heard that he's a bit unsettled as well at the club. FSG, I hope you're listening, because that's the profile we need for our striking department next summer. So, I can't even say January because that's a bit unrealistic. But next summer, please make it happen for us. And then Dara says, have you worked with Anfield Agenda? No, I haven't. I've not worked with Anfield Agenda, but big up to Craig from Anfield Agenda. Definitely a channel that I do follow. So yeah, big up to him, doing some great work on that side. And Steve says, big pitch Newcastle have. Yes, suits Nunes, Diaz, Salah pace. It does. Diaz is going to have a very important game for me in that fixture. Whether he plays through the middle, on the left, remains to be seen. That's going to be an interesting lineup. That's I'll say for sure. Steve says, Arsenal looking at Isaac. They've been looking at him for God knows how many years. They were looking at him when he was a real Sociedad striker, so they'll still be looking. Hopefully we can pounce and get the player ahead of them. Will they ever sign a striker? I don't know. They should have. They should have addressed that situation a long time ago, but they haven't. And I feel like it's costing him. Some fans will argue and say, well, Kai Havertz is scoring a lot of goals. He's prolific, but it's not really his game, is it? And I feel like the signing of Jesus just hasn't worked. I'll be honest with you. When they signed him, I thought, what, he might really, really do well. It might cook for them because I feel like if they give him that responsibility to lead the line, he could be prolific. But he's shown that he's not really that guy. Also, he picks up so many injuries. He never finds his rhythm up top. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange situation that they didn't go for a striker. Ivan Toney would have been the perfect addition, in my opinion, for Arsenal. But they had other ideas. I feel like they weakened their squad even more because they let Fabio Vieira go. He would have been someone that could have, come into the team in place of Odegaard when he was out of the injury. But no, let's see where it goes. I did say this in my Premier League predictions. I don't think Arsenal's squad is as strong as what people believe. But we're seeing it now. One or two injuries, and they're capitalizing. They're really struggling. And for us Liverpool fans, we're capitalizing. It's because we've got a lot more strength and quality within our squad. Might not have the numbers in comparison to other clubs, but we definitely got the quality. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Dara says, I used to be the head mod. That's big. Big up yourself, Dara. Steve says, after 65 minutes, Diaz off, unleash Gakpo. Yeah, it's going. I'm definitely going to present some different lineups tomorrow when I do my match preview because we definitely have to utilize these players in some shape or form. I could see the Gakpo being dropped, to be honest. Not because he didn't have a good game and nothing to that nature. I just feel like Diaz and Darwin Nunez's raw pace will have a very important influence in our team. And I feel like that could really unlock the low block of Newcastle. I think they're going to go defensive on us. I'm not going to lie. Actually, another player that might have a big role to play is Harvey Elliott off the bench. I feel like he's that type of player that could come on and thread those through balls and unlock a stubborn defense. So I think Elliott is one to look out for tomorrow as well. Steve says some Arsenal fans would like to sign Darwin Nunez next summer. They were linked to him around the last day of the summer window. Crazy rumors circulating saying that they were going to pursue him. He actually fits their style of play. He would be a fantastic signing for them. If they want him, they can offer us about 100 million. Then we can talk. Steve says Havertz's best position is number 10. I totally agree with you. He would cook in Arne Slot team. He would. He definitely works hard for the team. But yeah, I'm happy with Szoboszlai. I'm happy we've got Elliott as well. We're linked to other number 10s, i.e. Ryan Cherky. Now, that's a player that probably splits opinions. I like him. I think he's such a talented player. Is he the right fit? It's questionable just because of the track record where, apparently he doesn't track back in certain games. He's very hot and cold in terms of his performance. Apparently he's had issues with coaches in the past, so his mentality or attitude could be in question. So who knows? But I think right now we've got the good balance in those sort of number 10 positions. We've got Jones, we've got Szoboszlai, Elliott, all can offer different things, which is perfect for a team when you have to adapt to different styles and tactics with different oppositions. So no, I feel like we've got a good mixture in those attacking positions there. Sorry. Dara says Gakpo could play as a 10. I think he has the ability to play that number 10 role. I just don't think Arne Slot sees him as an option there. Arne Slot doesn't even see Gakpo as a striker because he's never played him up top. From what I can remember, he's always played him on the left wing, which, to be fair, is his best position. We've seen him play as a false 9 or further up as a number 9. But I just get that inkling that I don't think Gakpo even enjoys playing that striker role. I've seen little segments on social media where I believe it was the FC25 player card revealing where they come in and they present all the new ratings for the Liverpool players, and he was like, "Oh, I'm labeled as a striker again. That's not really me. I'm a left winger." So clear to say that that is the the player that wants to play one position as left wing. That is his natural position. So he's an option there. I just don't see. I don't think Arne Slot sees him as a number 10 in this team. Steve says Tony wants to return to EPL in January. Is that true? FSG get him on loan, then isn't it? You know, if you don't want to buy the player, get him on loan. I'll be happy with Tony on loan. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, let's see. Let's see what FSG think. Steve says 75 minutes, Salah off, Elliot on. Yeah, that makes sense. To be fair, that does make sense. Dara says Barnes is the key for them. He certainly is. If he's playing on that left side, because I know Anthony Gordon, he's not always played left wing this year. He's played on the right side as well. So I think Steve might be onto something in terms of having Kwanzaa remaining as a right back for that fixture. I want to see Gomez at centre back, a right back having a huge centre back up against a flying winger. You know, it could work. It could go pear shape as well. So we'll analyze that in more detail in tomorrow's match preview. Steve says Maka passing will destroy them. Also, a big pitch. Yeah, his passing has been sublime in the last 2-3 games. Steve says Cherky only comes if Chiesa is sold. So that's definitely a fact, I think, because I feel like we were linked with Cherky in the summer on the basis that we wanted to sign that kind of profile, a right winger that can play as a number 10 or on the left. So I think Cherky was considered, but then we ended up going for Chiesa. So let's see. You never know. Dara says, who is Chiesa, Steve? So Chiesa, our Italian winger. He hasn't played yet, but he's match fit and he should be available for the upcoming fixtures. So I'm certainly looking forward to seeing Chiesa in action in the coming games. Steve says, love Gittins, Rick Dibbling. Dibbling's a good player, you know, I'm not going to lie. Harry Gray to be signed next summer. All young ballers who fit FSG policies. I'm not familiar with Harry Gray. Let me quickly Google to see who he plays for. Harry Gray. Okay, another player from Leeds United. So yes, they're producing the gems there, right? Okay. He's not related to Archie Gray, is he? Oh, he is. He's the brother of Archie Gray. Okay. Did look does resemble him to be fair. Okay, fine. Another product from the Leeds United Academy there. Big up. Steve says Chiesa will be signed from Juventus this summer. And Dara says Gordon is 2 foot, so he's versatile. Yeah, he is, I guess, to extent. He does have a decent left foot on him. But I think because they've got two players, it just makes sense to have Gordon on the right side. They don't really have a right wing. I was quite surprised that they didn't recruit a player. They tried to get Madueke, from what I remember, but that never panned out. So yeah, that's why they've switched him over there. He's done all right. I still don't think he should have been bought instead of Luis Diaz. Whoever said that, as fans, if you've said that out loud, then you know you got to hold on to that one because I was never on that boat, and I don't think I will be. That Lucho is miles ahead of Gordon in every shape and form. Steve says if Isaac don't start or not fit, Gordon plays up top. Is that the case? Who else is their striking options? Callum Wilson, is he fit or is he injured again? So it doesn't seem like they have a lot of options. So they might be in the striker market in the January window as well, if that's the case. So he says Harry Gray better than his brother. Yeah, if that's the case. I'll look out for him. I didn't even know he had a younger brother still playing at Leeds. So yeah, I'll have a look out for him. Dara says name one Italian player that has been successful at LFC. Dara, how can you forget Aquilani? Come on now. Not joking. There hasn't been many, to be honest with you. I know we had a goalkeeper, but I can't remember his name. We had Aquilani, we had Dosena, we had Borini. Yeah, none of those players. And Balotelli, of course. Yeah, they didn't really live up to it. But I have high hopes for Federico Chiesa. I think he'll break that curse and be a successful Italian at Liverpool Football Club. That's just my that's me being hopeful more than saying anything factual there. Steve says Gordon plays up top if Isaac doesn't start. Gomez eats him up. Yeah, he certainly will. He certainly will. Steve says Zola was a success in the EPL. Zola was a baller. Yeah, who else? Viali did all right. I'm thinking who else? Di Matteo, not really, to be fair. Zola, Di Canio, he was great for West Ham. Benito Carboni, do you guys remember him? He was a bit of a baller as well. So there haven't been like huge Italian players that have been mega successful or anything like that, but no, Zola was class. But that was saying in terms of Liverpool, he didn't play for us. No, there hasn't been, to be fair. Aklani, there were high hopes because he was brought in as Alonso's replacement, even though I don't think he was like for Alonso. Aklani was a box-to-box midfielder. Came at the club injured, which is bloody annoying if you look back at it now. And then he just couldn't really hit the ground running. I remember him having 2-3 unbelievable games, and that was pretty much it. Docena scoring in that Real Madrid game. Other than that, pretty much a bit part player. Barini, I didn't have high hopes of Barini, if I'm being honest. I know he came through the ranks at Chelsea, then had a good spell at Swansea, then went back to Serie A, but no, I didn't have high hopes for him. So it might just been, certain profiles didn't fit the way we play. But the game has changed over the years now, and I feel like the Premier League or the modern day football now is more technical than it was back in those days. So it could work. I think Chiesa definitely has the skill set to be a success at Liverpool and in the Premier League. For him, it's probably just maintaining fitness and making sure he doesn't pick up any injuries and all that sort of thing. So yeah, we'll see. Steve says Mancini. Roberto Mancini was decent as well. Yeah, Di Canio was a baller, absolute baller, proper maverick. He was, wasn't he? Yeah, that's a throwback. You don't really get those type of players nowadays. Docena scored a banger against United. Yeah, scored against United and Real Madrid from what I remember in the same week, right? Yeah, that's crazy. Dara says Chiesa is another Alcantara. No, come on, Dara. Let's not end the evening in a downer. I hope not. I hope that's not the case. When he's on form, he's one of the best in world football, in my opinion. So hopefully we're unable to get the best out of him in the coming weeks and this season. I do feel like he's going to play a part. Steve echoes probably my thinking there. We've both spoken about him in the past about Chiesa. I feel like he's going to have an impact for us in the second half. So, you got to have these ambitions for our players. What I liked about when Chiesa signed was just his excitement of joining the club. He was so over the moon. His girlfriend as well. She was like really excited about joining the club. When you watch the vlog, it was really, really encouraging that this player really wanted to move over to Liverpool and play for a prestige club. His father, spoken highly. He was a former player, scored against Liverpool as well. So, he knows the history of the club and he knows what it means to play and represent the red shirts. So, you know what? Yeah, big up to him. And hopefully he's a success. He seems like a nice guy in terms of what we see in the media. So, yeah, hopefully he gets back to full fitness and hits the ground running. D says Ravanelli Middlesbrough. Spelled his name wrong. No, I know who you're talking about. Ravanelli was baller, blonde hair, another maverick striker. Proper maverick strikers from Italy, isn't it? Yeah, he was a baller. He was very clinical up top. That was the time when they had that Juninho and all those type of players, real quality players there. So yeah, I do remember him. So was Lippmann. Is that you saying in terms of being injury prone? Yeah, Lippmann came at us at the wrong time of his career. To be honest with you, he came at during his latter stages, so he wasn't really, he came around his early 30s, so he wasn't really in the position to have a long sort of blossoming career at the club. He was a baller as well. I was really pleased when we signed him. I only watched him a handful of times for Barcelona when we signed him. But from what I saw, he's a proper technician. We never played him properly though. In those days, we didn't really play with number 10s. So I feel like in this day and age, he probably suit our system to the T. But yeah, he was a really good player. Just joined us too late in his career, unfortunately. So yeah, a blast from the past there. Big up Jari Littman. And Steve says Chiesa knows more about our club's history than FSG. In fans, you know what? You might be spot on there, Steve. I'm not gonna lie, because when they did the interview with him, the way he was speaking so much lyrical about Liverpool as a club, it was very nice to hear. And yeah, you might be onto something there. You might have more knowledge than most, top reds as they like to call them. So yeah, you might have a point there. You might have a point. And that is it for today, guys. That's all the comments for today. Thank you so much to Dara and Steve for your comments as well. Big up as always. Appreciate you getting involved. And Daz as well. Big up Daz as always. So yeah, big up to everyone for getting involved and making it into a very engaging show. Normally these shows that I do, the Premier League review shows, are like half an hour, but it's been an hour and a half. So thank you for sticking in and getting involved. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed yourselves. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak with you all tomorrow evening. Goodbye.